Someone asked me the other day, it's like, hey, like, what's the secret to working with all these people, right? Like, you name the person, I've worked with them or did something with them or I know them, right? What's the secret? And I think the really secret is just like being yourself. Like, I'm myself. Like, the way I, with you guys or anyone I meet, you know, anyone that, you know, a family member or Floyd Mayweather, Kyle Forjard, you know, Logan Paul, whoever it is, like, I'm me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really change. A lot of people, I've seen people be around them where like they're one person and then they see someone of influence or some sort of, you know, or even Elon. Like, I've got a great relationship with Elon. And like, I always wonder, like, why does he, like, I'll get a random text from him. And I'm just like, dude, I'm probably like the only like kind of normal person he knows. Everyone's kissing his ass or pitching him on something or whatever. I pitch him on coming back on Full Send Podcast Part 2, like, you know, but other than that, which he said he would do.
Yeah.
He said it has to be on Twitter Spaces first, so I gotta come through on that.
How did you meet Elon?
Met Elon in 2013, 10 years ago. I met Elon. He wanted to go to a Mayweather fight, speaking of Mayweather, and I was already going to the fight with Justin Bieber, and he said, hey, like, if you and Bieber want to come on my plane, like, would love to meet you guys, and, you know, we could fly together. And believe it or not, I had to convince Bieber to do that. He's like, no, it's good. I'm good. I'll fly on my own. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, come on. He's like, he didn't really know who Elon was. Like, he knew, because the Tesla was like out, but like he knew him as the guy who just sold PayPal, you know? That's how I met him. We went to a Mayweather fight together.
Now, you have a funny story. I think you should tell it here about Elon Musk and Justin Bieber on that flight.
Which part?
The one where he was late.
So it was some convincing. This all happened on the fight's on a Saturday. Yeah. We're supposed to fly out Saturday morning, and this all happened on a Friday night. My buddy Shervin called me and said, hey, like, I got Elon Musk on the phone. I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, we want to go to the Mayweather fight tomorrow. Can you make it happen? And I was like, actually, we're already leaving with Bieber in the morning. And he's like, well, why don't we all go together? And I pretty much said yes. I spoke for Justin. I didn't think it would have to be convincing. So I was like, yeah, of course, we'd love that. You know, and later I had to, you know, so Justin didn't want to do it at first. So he just wanted to go on his own. Like, Justin's a very independent guy. He's Justin Bieber. Like, no one really impresses him. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, he's in his own world, even these days, right? He's in his own world. He just hangs out with his wife. Like, that's it. So I forgot the time. It was like 10 a.m. taking off. And I get there, of course, on time. And Elon's there already. My brother Sam was with me. Shervin, my buddy, good friend of mine who put the whole thing together. And then Justin's running late. And I'm like, and calling him, his phone's dead. So I'm calling security. And I'm like, where are you guys at? He's like, yeah, we're like 20 minutes out. All right. And I was like, can I talk to Justin? He's like, Justin's in the other car. My other car? How many cars? He's like, oh, we got a couple cars. And then I'm like, oh God. I'm in the car, like, I'm like kind of low-key freaking out, but I'm like next to Elon, so I'm trying to play it cool. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll see you in a bit. So I see him, like 10 minutes later, they roll up, and I'm looking outside. We're all on the plane, we're ready to go. And it's 3 car loads. Well, there's only so Elon had his kids on the plane, his lady at the time, couple other, his brother, Kimball, was on there. So the plane's already kind of packed, and Justin's rolling up in an entourage. So I run out. I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, well, didn't you say this guy just sold PayPal? I said, yeah. He's like, well, what kind of plane are we talking about here? I'm like, bro, like, he's got his whole family. Like, you can't bring all your buddies. Like, and he's like, all right, well, I'm leaving. I'm like, no. Like, please. So Elon comes out, he's like, hey, everything okay? I was like, yeah, Justin didn't know like how many spaces left. He's like, well, don't worry about it. I got another plane. I'll have it here right away. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. It's like, another plane will be here in less than 30 minutes. And he flew in a whole nother plane to fly all of Justin's friends, Tay James, all these other guys. on the second plane. So
How does he do that though? Does he
Elon
just?
Musk, man, like he bought Twitter for $44 billion. I don't think a second plane is going to be an issue.
But that just seems absurd to me to be able to call on the phone and have a private.
And he
jet
was
be
very-
there,
he
like-
he just didn't
bought
care?
Twitter $44 billion.
Did he not care though? Was he just like, oh yeah, that's no problem?
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He's pretty stoic.
Yeah, very stoic. That was one thing I got out of him. I'm like, dude, like this guy, like same facial reaction, like doesn't really, that's why on the Full Send podcast it was different. He's like laughing, he's cracking jokes, he's being sarcastic. Like that was a different. The Elon I first met was like very like he had shades on, like he's like got this like. What's Iron Man's name?
Robert Downey Jr.
No, but the character.
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. He's got this like Tony Stark like kind of like persona, So yeah, he's one of a kind.